welcome to season 3 of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible current and former people. And I'm going to, current because you're the current chairman of the Scottsdale chairman, you're former manager of Fashion Square.
That's correct.
And
correct.
Stephen Helm, man. How you doing, sir?
It's
my pleasure.
I retired a couple years ago.
Yes.
And I have continued my involvement in the community by volunteering for a number of organizations.
Time out. Let me go back a little bit. You just
Yeah, go
retired a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
The end of 14.
But you're still working. You're still doing stuff.
I'm
You've never retired.
Busier than ever.
You've got a couple of causes that are dear to your heart. Do you want to talk about?
Yes, and one is Ryan House, and it's an organization that people really don't know a lot about. It's an organization that provides palliative and respite care for children with life-limiting diseases and their families. And so you have a child that needs 24/7 care, and you're a family, and you have a spouse, you have siblings, and you've got to take care of this kid because he needs care. And so Ryan House has a care team, and you can bring your child to Ryan House, and Ryan House, the care team at Ryan House, will take care of that child for a period of time. So you can take respite, and you can spend time with your spouse, with the other children, and cement that relationship, because most people that have these children that need 24/7 care, the marriages end up in divorce. The siblings often have social problems. And so Ryan House provides this respite care. And it's one of 2 organizations in the country that does that.
And I was going to say something. How long has Ryan House been in existence?
It's been in existence for 6 years.
Okay.
Just celebrated its 6th anniversary in March of this past year. And we're trying to help other communities develop that same kind of program.
And that is an amazing, that is a very interesting concept. And it goes right to the root of what our society is all about, right?
Right.
Because we're helping in trying to maintain the unity of a household,
The family.
of a family,
Yeah.
by helping.
And trying to resolve that challenge
That's amazing.
that they have. And Ryan House is like a camp. And so these kids that have these life-limiting illnesses can go there, and they can experience a music room, a sensory room. They can create a video of themselves. There's a swimming pool. It's like going to summer camp.
Is there an age limit or is there an age
It goes
bracket?
from birth to 17.
Okay.
And so we have a number of babies that come there. There's also a hospice element, because a lot of the children are on end-of-life path.
Yes.
And so many of them choose to be at hospice at Ryan House for their end-of-life experience.
See, you're never retired, man.
I'm working.
You keep working in all
I'm
of this
working.
thing. This is great
Now
causes.
the great thing about Ryan House is it is free. The families that take advantage of Ryan House, and they can have their kids spend up to 28 days a year in Ryan House. They can stay with them if they want, because there are family rooms. Or they can say, please take care of my child. We're going to go to the Grand Canyon, or we're going to go see a movie, or whatever. So it's all free. We get no insurance reimbursement.
Wow.
And we have to raise $2.5 million a year to provide this, and we do. The community supports it very amazingly.
That's terrific. That's a great cause. And to qualify, to say drop your son, your daughter off at Ryan House, does one need to fill out an application? Is there certain parameters?
You have to fill out an application, but
Yep.
mainly it's coordinating with the doctor that's caring for the child.
Okay.
So that the care the child gets at Ryan House is the same as the care they would get at their home. And so it's really more coordination. And again,
That's a tremendous cost.
the first night that your child is there, you have to stay there, because we want the families to realize how comfortable and how good the care is. And then after that, you're free to say, okay, now we're going to go take a vacation.
What's the most rewarding? Now, you've been with this organization for a number of years. What's the most rewarding thing that you've seen
Well,
throughout your life with
what I really love to see is how these children in wheelchairs, disabled, really can't live a normal life, how they enjoy the experiences, like the pool. I've seen kids swim in the pool. We have a bathtub, And the kids can get in the bathtub, and many of them don't. They can't do that at home because of their disability.
Right.
And we have this bathtub that takes care of them and cleans them and then cleans itself. It's a self-cleaning bathtub. And so it's just the experiences that the children have when they're there.
Where is Ryan House located?
Ryan House is close to downtown. It's on Merrill Street, which is 1 block west of Central, 1 block north of Thomas.
All right.
So it's in the heart of Phoenix.
Right.
And
how many kids can in?
well, we have 8 rooms.
All right.
And 2 of them are for hospice, although we can flex that as time goes by. But there are 8 rooms, and they're pretty much full all the time.
All the time.
All
and
the
the
time.
families, they must be incredibly grateful to this program.
The testimonials we get from the families are absolutely incredible. They bring tears to your eyes.
It's freeing them, and like you said, to use your word,
Yeah.
see, the respite.
Respite. They can take a break.
They can take a break from their...
And they don't have to do the medicine every 2 hours and stay up all night taking care of the child, because the care team will do that.
What is, let's kind of focus on the Ryan House from an entrepreneurship perspective. Because at the end of the day, even if it is a nonprofit, if you will, it's a business. It's got to market itself.
It's a business. It is
And
a business.
it has to be run as a business.
The founders of Ryan House were U.S. citizens. They were sent to London for a while, and they had a baby, Ryan, and Ryan had a spinal disease that was life-limiting. And in England, they went to Helm House. There were 45 Helm houses in England, and they came back to the States, and they said, "Okay, well, let's find a Helm house." And there wasn't one.
Wow.
And so Jonathan and Holly Cotter formed a group of citizens that raised the money to make Ryan House happen. So that's entrepreneurial.
Right. Absolutely.
That really, I mean,
Finding a need.
Here's a need, and let's get the
fill
money,
it,
and
yeah.
let's make this happen. And it took 6 years to make it happen, but they made it happen. They got Ryan House built, and now they are personally working with other communities to see if they can
expand the concept.
Absolutely.
The biggest challenge for Ryan House is it
Money.
funding?
It's money. Every year we need to raise $2.5 million to provide the care.
For that one community alone.
For Ryan House.
For Ryan House, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it takes $2.5 million to fund Ryan House, and Ryan House serves the entire state. But we need to raise the money, and believe me, the reservations, the government, a number of foundations, individuals, really they rally to the cause, and so it's been a great support. But it's a challenge every year. Every year we go out.
I want to put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
You are the chairman of the Scottsdale Chamber, and you've seen all sorts of businesses.
Yep.
What would you say, from your perspective, would be the biggest challenge that entrepreneurs face, the business owners face nowadays?
Well, I'll talk about the chamber.
Yeah.
Because a lot of businesses join the chamber and say they're going to save my business. And they never attend, they never go to anything. They don't do anything.
Magically, the chamber is going to help them out.
Yeah. And what you need to do is, if you're an entrepreneur, a small business, you need to network.
Engage.
And the chamber has networking functions every week. And if you attend those, you will broaden your base. And so the challenge is getting the businesses not to rely on somebody else, but to rely on themselves to build their business.
Be proactive.
Be proactive.
Go out there to the events.
And
shake hands.
Meet people.
Meet people.
Meet people.
Wow, what a
That's
concept.
it. Yeah, what a concept.
What a concept.
Yeah. So now the other agency, or the other cause I want to talk about, is the Scottsdale's Museum of the West, because it is not a widely known institution. It opened a year and a half ago, and it was in the planning for 30 years. Mayor Herb Drinkwater years ago said the most western city should have a Museum of the West, and community leaders like Jim Bruner and Paul Messenger worked very hard, and the project lived and died over 30 years. And finally the city of Scottsdale used bed tax dollars to build the building, and a year and a half ago it opened, and it is a museum that represents the 19 states west of essentially the Mississippi.
And where's the museum located?
It is south of Main Street in Scottsdale on Marshall Way. It's in the Arts District.
It is open to the public.
And it's open to the public. It's open at 9:30 a.m. every day except Monday. And Thursdays it's open till 9. Most of the time it closes at 5. But it's a great facility with phenomenal art, and all the art is on loan. The museum doesn't own anything. And so all of these collections are there, they change out.
And again, the name of the museum
The
is?
Scottsdale Museum of the West.
You're like the best pitchman in the world, man. I love you. Thank you for coming, and really appreciate your perspective.
My pleasure.
What you're doing with a museum, what you're doing with Ryan House, and what you formerly did, and what you currently do.
Of course. Thank you,
so much.
Francisco.
Don't
so
go
much.
anywhere. We're just
Okay.
going to say, out.